It looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
In a fit of desperation, Donald Trump took Tim Scott over to the Federal Reserve yesterday to ambush Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, and trying to humiliate him. Because right now, the only thing Donald Trump is focused on, the only thing the Republican Party as elected officials are focused on, is trying to get Donald Trump out of the controversy that he now rests with Jeffrey Epstein, his involvement, his best friendship. If you listen to Jeffrey Epstein, his deep, abiding affection for a convicted criminal, convicted abuser of children, trafficker of children. So Donald Trump goes to the Federal Reserve yesterday, brings out this entire first clip is really just him literally, figuratively, but also literally trying to set the stage, to arrange the photo op exactly how he wants it. He reaches over and he grabs Powell and drags him into the frame, and then does the same for Tim Scott, gets him in there and asks him a question, all so he can whip out a piece of paper, have it all on camera, where he's kind of denigrating Jerome Powell for what he considers cost overruns for a construction project. And then he lies about a bunch of the details. And Jerome Powell doesn't treat him like a normal person would treat Donald Trump when in his presence. We've seen Democratic governors or mayors and governors. Gretchen Whitmer showed up in the Oval Office and tried to cover her face. We saw Muriel Bowser, the mayor here, my mayor here in Washington, D.C., up there listening to Donald Trump ramble and rant his conspiracy theories while having the seat next to him. It's never good. It's never good. They were silent. Jerome Powell was not. We're going to get to that. But first, here he is literally setting the stage for his photo op.
Mr. President, President Powell is here today.
Well, thank you very much. We're looking at the construction, and we're with the chairman, as you know. Come on over. And we're just taking a look at what's happening. And it's a tough construction job. They're building basements where they didn't exist or expanding them, and a lot of very expensive work. There's no question about it. And Tim has been with me for a long time, and you're in charge of the committee.
Indeed, it's one of the reasons I wanted to see it, the overruns and the expenses, wanted to figure out why.
So we're taking a look, and
it's desperation. It's all he's got is this. He needed it perfectly framed to have it go viral in the media. The problem for Donald Trump is that it went viral, but for all the wrong reasons. Jerome Powell did not treat him with the requisite devotion like he's used to, being the dear leader of the Republican Party and leader of the MAGA cult. Jerome Powell did just the opposite. When Donald Trump whipped his little paper out and started talking about the cost overruns or whatever, Jerome Powell's like, what? If you watched it silently, when you see him look over, the thought bubble automatically in your head is, he's saying, what the f***? And he shakes his head and he verbally disagrees and pushes back against the lies, the propaganda, the conspiracy, the distraction that Donald Trump is trying to put forward here.
so we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody but that.
It just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
3.1.
3.2.
This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the mark renovation. You just added.
Our entire capital.
You just added in a third building. Is what that is. That's a third building.
Well, I know, but it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years later.
It's part of the overall.
It's
So,
not new.
so we're going to take a look. We're going to see what's happening, and it's got a long way. Do you expect any more additional crossovers?
Don't expect them. We're ready for them. But we have a little bit of a reserve that we may use, but no, we don't. We expect to be finished in 2027. We're well along, as you can see.
Nice to take these off every once in a while when we're not under too much danger. So, any questions?
Yeah. There's nothing else to say about that. But I will say this about the next clip. And that is this entire, if you don't think how I've laid, because this is, by the way, from the beginning through to the end, this is it. If you don't think that this was contrived, that this was premeditated, you're not paying attention, because the first question out of, there hasn't been a clip here. There hasn't been a weird edit here. I led with I stop the clip and then I back up a couple seconds so you can see that it's the same thing rolling all the way through. The first question out of Jerome Powell correcting Donald Trump is obviously a setup. It is clearly meant to get this reaction from Donald Trump asking, what would you do if the general contractor or the project manager on a blah, blah, blah was overcost? And Donald Trump says he'd fire them.
So, any questions?
As a real estate developer, what would you do with a project manager who would be over budget?
Generally speaking, what would I do? I'd fire him.
Do you think this issue is...
First of all, and it pains me to feel obligated to say it, Jerome Powell is the chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank of the United States of America. He's not a fucking project manager on a construction site. Dum-dum. And you know that this was contrived and set up because Donald Trump gave his little, I'd fire him. He wanted that to be the soundbite of the day. Fortunately for everybody else, and unfortunately for Donald Trump, the soundbite of the day is going to be him offering or saying he's allowed to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, as to the lie that Donald Trump just told with the paper and all that, here's how we know that is absolutely fabricated, is his stooges were asked by Caitlin Collins yesterday, Russell Vought and whoever the dipshit standing next to him is, she asked directly about this, and here's how you know they're lying. It's based on his wildly stupid answer.
Who is responsible for giving the president accurate information about what the cost is? Because Fed Chair Jay Powell was correcting him on live television.
No, he wasn't. What the president pulled out of his pocket...
They had two different numbers, is my point.
No, the president pulled out of his pocket a page from the FOIA request of the Fed's own internal documents that is available on their website.
So
it's
when he's saying there's
a
third building, you're saying he's wrong?
No. What the president is saying is the entire construction project that's going on, which is a build and renovation project over the last number of years, is currently at $3.1 billion. And what the Fed chair was saying was, no, you have to take one of the buildings out of it. Well, no, it's all one project on the whole complex.
Why do you disagree with that? If the building was already done and it's not part of what your issues are right now?
I don't know what you're saying.
Well, that's the most accurate thing you're going to hear out of that guy's mouth. I don't know what you're saying. How you know it's stupid is he says that was a FOIA request based on information that's on their website. The Federal Reserve's website? Why would you need a FOIA request for something that's publicly available on a government website? Guy. I don't understand what you're saying. Clearly. Anyway, distraction of the day. This is the Distractapalooza, day 3 or 4. And I'm happy to bring it to you. What do you think? I would appreciate your opinion. Let's have a conversation in the comments. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. Please, 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 please make sure you're subscribed. And if you want to support this work and help financially, you can click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month. You can also click the browser, your browser, not any browser, not the browser, your browser, over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast and support the same way. It's just a fundraising mechanism to help support creators, and I am just that. Anyway, I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.